President, I appreciate the Senator's comments about American law and principles. As a former U.S. Attorney and Attorney General, I share the general view, but he mentions and the historic privileges that we have in America. But let me tell you, no one has a right to enter the United States of America. We decide who comes in and who does not. That is a core principle of sovereignty. Every nation in the world makes those decisions if they're a functioning state. And you then allow people to enter on your terms. But those conditions are not such that if you say someone can't come here, you've violated the laws of America. If you say you can come to America, but not if you have a history of being a sexual predator, what right does that violate? What principle of American law does that violate? I suggest none. We have every right to insist and ensure that the immigration system of the United States serves the national interest. And the national interest means you don't bring people, you don't allow people to continue to stay in our country or to come to our country who have repeat DUIs or who sell drugs or who are associated with terrorists. How basic is that? Nobody has a constitutional legal right to demand entry into the United States of America. How much more basic can it be than that? So that's where we're confused here. It amazes me, the lack of understanding and comprehension of what it's all about. We set the standards. Some aggravated felons who have sexually abused a minor are eligible for amnesty under this bill. They have no entitlement to amnesty. Nobody has entitlement to amnesty, whether they're perfectly wonderful citizens and all that. They're not entitled to that. This is a gift we give. So why would you want to give that to somebody who sexually abused a minor? Aliens with terrorism connections under this legislation are not barred from getting amnesty. They don't have a right to stay here. If we have any suggestion that someone in this country now here or wants to come here is connected to terrorists, they don't have to be admitted. What kind of right do they have to demand to be admitted? You can't come here unless you have good moral character. You can't come here if you're a felon, a thief, a drug dealer, or a child molester. Surely that would make sense. So this bill eliminated that. Another example, surprisingly, of this bill being weaker even than last year's fatally flawed bill. But it begins to show a certain mindset, and I think that mindset is that we're somehow here to represent people who want to come in our country and stay in our country instead of representing the American people and the interests of the United States. Under the bill, being in a violent gang is not going to prevent you from qualifying for amnesty. The bill requires amnesty applicant you're required to list the gang membership on your application. Kent Lundgren, the national chairman of the Association of Former Border Patrol Officers, said this: "There are no meaningful criminal or terrorist checks," close quote, in the legislation. And he noted that the, quote, "screening will not happen," close quote. And he added, "Congress is lying about it."
The Senator has used his time.